War is crazy, but world wars are even crazier. Now this is the story of something that happened after the second and hopefully the last World War. So this war was largely fought in Europe and left the whole of Europe in shambles. And the much larger USA and the one-time USSR grew more powerful. Not a great situation for the smaller European countries. So a few of them had an idea. Hey, maybe if we join forces, then we can also be stronger. So in the year 1957, a bunch of these countries created a European community. Soon the others got excited about this and many more countries hopped on. In 1973, Britain also jumped in. And on the 1st of November 1993, all these countries signed a treaty and created what is known as the European Union. Now, people, goods, and money could move freely around within the continent. All the countries in the Union could trade with each other, with no taxes. People from poor countries could look for jobs and education anywhere. Most EU countries used one common, the euro, so traveling and buying and selling was easier. How wonderful! Now everyone in the continent was at peace with everyone. They were all helping each other prosper. In fact, for a short time in 2007, the EU was the biggest economy in the world. But then, something happened. Trouble had been brewing in the USSR, and in 1991, it dissolved. Many small republics emerged as independent countries. Now quite a few of these countries decided to join the EU too. To tell you the truth, a lot of these people had been quite unhappy under the Soviet rule, so they moved fairly quickly to the West, and especially to Britain. So what did this do to Britain? It made life harder for the British people. They now had to share the country's houses, and jobs were to provide for many more people. The country's growth would be slowed down by the poorer countries sharing the Union. Also, the British government's power could be controlled by the EU laws. The people weren't happy at all, and they complained. So the government said, okay, let's take a vote. In 2016, there was a referendum, or a ballot, where the people of the UK could vote. Stay with the EU or leave the EU. And the rest, as they say, is history. 52% of the people decided to leave the EU. They chose the British exit, or Brexit. What does this mean? It means that within 2 years, British borders will close to Europe, and the trade advantages and freedom to move around in Europe will get restricted. But Britain will have its control back. Good move? Well, the Prime Minister David Cameron didn't think so. Many people in the country were even wondering if they should hold another referendum. But many more seem to think that it may be a good idea. And it will be interesting to see if the other countries are going to follow the lead and do the same. For now, we'll just have to wait and watch.